So today I'm going to review Avengers number 15 by Jason Aaron with art by David Marquez. So I've liked this run, quite a bit so far. It's had its ups and downs. I don't know how I feel about the whole She-Hulk Thor romance. It's a little weird, but overall it's been pretty good. They got off track for a little while, like of the main story. It had a lot of these sort of side issues with like backstory and stuff. But now we're back kind of on track with the Vampire War. So the art by David Marquez it's pretty good. It's a bit stodgy in places, especially with some of the facial work. But overall, it's good. Jason Aaron's writing is strong as usual. He does get a little snarky and like overly witty, I guess, with some of the dialogue. It just feels too like he's trying too hard to be hip. But for the most part, I think it's quite good. It's consistent with what it's been, so far in the run. So basically what's happening in this issue is the villain, the Shadow Colonel, has basically been able to manipulate Robbie Reyes, Ghost Rider, into basically being his servant. He's kind of gotten into this like ultra Ghost Rider form that I don't quite understand because I'm not super familiar with Ghost Rider lore. But basically he's going around with him. They're doing a bunch of like bad stuff, killing other vampires, because he's trying to do this big purge. And then Tony Stark goes to Russia to visit Dracula, who's basically going there for asylum and has been put in this like high security prison to protect him from the Shadow Colonel. He tries to convince Dracula to come with him to help fight the Shadow Colonel, and Dracula doesn't want to. He has basically his own agenda. He tries to manipulate Tony emotionally, and then he somehow causes, it's unclear how this happens, but he causes a big prison break, and then Tony and the Russian, basically Avengers, have to go fight all the people who are trying to get out of the prison. So basically that's what happens in the issue. The Avengers are trying to figure out what to do about the Shadow Colonel while he's continuing to pursue his agenda. Yeah, so overall this book continues to be pretty solid. It's probably one of the more consistent runs that Marvel's putting out right now. It's not perfect by any means, but I would recommend picking it up, especially if you've been liking this book so far. I'm looking forward to seeing kind of where it all ends up with the Shadow Colonel and Dracula and all that. It's always cool, having Dracula show up. I like vampire lore in the Marvel Universe. So yeah.